Welcome to today's moment of truth. We are talking today about one of my biggest passions. We've been talking all the way along about various parts of what we're going to talk about today, but today we're going to talk about the miracle in the middle, where everything all comes together and shines. So we have, I've been talking about what calls you, what we talk about your well-trained talents, right? We had a conversation about how we've spent our lives wondering, doing things, not necessarily wondering, like you end up just randomly doing a job that you learned something at, or actually going and studying at school to learn something. And you get your talents and you actually claim you're talented, and you have these talents that not everyone has. And then there's the part where you recognize you were just born with some gifts, and you have these God-given gifts that, for mine, I just get messages. I hear things. I see how things go together. I can feel if what you're saying is your truth, or whether there's something going on the surface. So I love my gifts, but until we honor our God-given gifts, we don't ever get to share them. Because if we're kind of like, oh, don't tell people you do that, or don't tell people what you get, then you just it just doesn't serve the world. So this is about honoring your God-given gifts. And the third piece we've talked about is being available for your call, right? Okay, maybe I am being called. How does this happen? How do I get to listen for what I'm being called for? And all I'm asking you to do for that is to be willing, to be aware of what's going on around you and aware that you might be being called, and then to be bold and willing to step in, right? So we've talked about those three pieces. And today, what we're doing is finding where the miracle is in the middle, right? So we have a circle over here where it talks about your well-trained talents, and one up here with your God-given gifts, and another one over here with your calling. And the intersection of all those is what I call the miracle zone. Because when your God-given gifts align with your well-trained talents, you're what I call a well-trained natural. There was a time when I was speaking and I was vying for a job where I was going to be presenting for this company. And so I took everything they had taught the day before, and I took everything I knew, and I my skills and my talents, and I put it together, and I did a 10-minute presentation on it really was in affirmations. It wasn't even a high-end talk. It was just really declaring who they were. But the way I presented it, I presented it with my whole body. I got people engaging with me. I got people interacting. I got them up out of their seats, and I walked off the stage. And a woman who had been in the backs of hundreds of rooms and with thousands of people in the audience came after me and said, you're either really well trained or you're a natural. And I said, I'm a really well-trained natural. And that's that piece where I find when your God-given gifts and your well-trained talents, because I'd been trained as a speaker, I knew what I was doing, but I brought the gifts that I had of tuning in and seeing. Just reading these affirmations isn't going to do it. I got to get people involved, and I listened to what I was given, and then miracles happen, right? So just in that little section. But the next piece is, I thought I was maybe to work for those people. But God said, no, that was what you were supposed to do, to get information so that you could gain one more talent for yourself and you could gain that bit of competence for yourself. But your calling is really a different piece. And that's that intersection when you get your God-given gifts and your calling, and where those overlap, that's when I call you get your message is bigger than you. I'd done everything I'd known to do to go, I just wanted a job. I just wanted to go be able to use my talents and be paid for it. So I was going to work for someone else. But what I got was, oh no, I'm really supposed to be helping people speak their truth and speak on stages and train them to untrain themselves, right? To be who they've been born to be, like really to take away all the training we've done that gets in our way of being ourselves. So all of a sudden, my message was bigger than me. And you know how I really knew my message was bigger than me? Because when I argued with God and I said, really, speaker training? This is your big idea? And I heard, I'll bring you my messengers. You have them be good. Again, it was my calling. But there is still that piece of doubt in my how do you make this all go, right? So there's that intersection between your well-trained talents and your calling. And it's that part where we call that the mission your whole life has been preparing you for, right? So this is that other intersection. And I was arguing with God and I'm like, I don't think I like this. This is hard and I don't want to do this anymore. But here, this was the mission my whole life been preparing me for. And you know what I argued with God the second time? What I heard? I heard, please, I told you I'll bring them. Stop hunting them down. And that's when I really got there's a way when our calling intersects with our talents and we recognize this is the mission we've been being trained for our whole lives, and where our calling intersects our God-given gifts and you realize this is bigger than you. Like, this is not even my job. This is just what I've been asked to do, right? And then there's that piece of your well-trained talents and it meeting with your God-given gifts. And it's where everything aligns. And you're like, wow, this feels so good. But why does it take so long to find that miracle in the middle? Because when all three of those pieces line up, that's when I say you're speaking your truth. And only when you're speaking your truth will your people be able to find you and hear you. Because when we hide who we are, when we hide behind somebody else's message, like going to work for somebody else, when that's not your calling. Now, for some, that is your calling. You know, I'm thrilled. I can't believe that the people like who support me, they feel this is their calling and they feel passionate about my getting behind me and getting this message out there. So to me, I think everybody has a calling of going out and speaking, but that's not true. But if it is your calling to go out and speak and not be behind someone else's message, then what are you waiting for? You got to step out there and start listening for the call, right? Listening. Is this what you want me to do? And this is my secret. If it's hard, it's not the next step. If it's easy, that's when you're going, yes, this is the way it is. Now, the funny thing for me was when it got hard, I wanted to stop, but I argued with God. And what he told me was, I told you I'll bring them. Stop hunting them down. And I realized I was making it hard. I was struggling. I was trying to make it happen. I was trying to get people in the seats. I was trying to hunt people down. But that wasn't what I was to do. I was to shine my light and let my people find me. So I was like, fabulous. If that's what you want me to do, I'm going to do what I want when I want. If I feel like it, it's convenient to me, and I'm enjoying myself. So I started doing that and going to events because I wanted to, not to find my connections. And you know what? That was when people started hunting me down. It was so amazing. And just recently, I even went to an event and I spoke, and I've had two people come up and want to work with me one-on-one, and because they really want to know their message. So I can't work with one-on-one with all of you, and you're not ready to work with me all one-on-one, but I can offer you a 3-day opportunity to speak your truth and work with me as a group in a small group setting. And we're going to work on who it is you've been born to be. What is your messaging? Who are the people who are waiting for you? And I'm going to give you some of my secrets of how to speak in a way that has people go, I want that. So it's a piece of you being your best selves and speaking in a way that has people go, I want that. So when you're ready to step into that miracle zone for yourself and you're ready to get a little help from above and from me and from all that comes in together and trust, I ask you to be bold and step in. So Sophia's going to post a link to Speak Your Truth. It's a 3-day event, September 23rd through 25th. And it's we are going to be recording it. I had a call from someone or an email from someone in Australia who wants to participate. And she goes, but it's the middle of the night. Will you record it? And I said, yes, we will. And for right now, if you sign up for being in Speak Your Truth before September 6th, you get the recordings for the general admission. And if you sign up after, it'll be available for a VIP package we're putting together. But right at the moment, if you sign up, there's one other piece. If you go to that link, here's the other secret for all of you, because you come and watch me and you engage and you love what we're doing here. I'm going to give you a gift of $200 off the investment. So the investment is $297, but for all you who are here listening to the end, it's $200 off. And the coupon code access to speaking your truth is $97. I love having you all here, and we are going to continue these moments of truth. We are going to be bringing new people in to share their moments of truth. It's going to be morphing, but I have so enjoyed being with you all, and I'll see you again next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm off to go do a summit for speakers as well. And Sophia, if you would just post that little link in here, come join us all day long. I'm interviewing speakers and their gifts. So if this is all intriguing to you, we would love to have you be a part of the, be my guest at the Speaker's Secret Success Summit. So that's just an aside. And I love you all. We'll see you next week. And I look forward to those I'll get to see in September. That's where the magic really happens. It's the magic in the middle. Come to the miracle zone. I have more to share with you, and you have more to share with me, more importantly. So this 3-day event will be an interactive place. So let's play together. All right. I love you all. Thank you very much. And I will see you next week.